The fear that Paul talks about here is something that is still there when a believer stands as a son before his loving Father with bold and confident spirit, making his request known to him.
这种敬畏是什么呢？是一个儿子战战兢兢地站在父亲面前，但是他知道这个慈父是爱他的，然后呢，他把他一切的要求都向父亲讲了。
And to Paul, this fear of the Lord is a great motivation to him.
对保罗来说，这个敬畏神对保罗是一个很大的推动力量。
That's why he goes on to talk about the judgment seat of Christ, that each one may receive what is due him for the things done in the body, whether good or bad.
所以他讲到上帝的审判台前面，我们要站在那边，我们要让他知道给我们公义的审判。
Paul connects this sobering judgment with an awareness of the nature of God, which realizes that he cannot be fooled or deceived in any way.
他讲到这个审判，他是蛮有知道上帝的全知全能，上帝的慈爱，上帝的公义。
And that since God is no respecter of person, we cannot count on privileges or favor for some special consideration before Him.
因为我们的上帝是不会尊崇人的，所以我们在他的面前不会有享受到什么特权或者有什么的优惠。
His judgment will be inescapable and without appeal.
他的审判是绝对的，你不能申诉。
And it is this truth, the certainty that Paul will one day face the searching gaze of his Lord and Savior, which motivates Paul to serve Jesus.
就是因为保罗知道有一天他要站在这个审判台当中，面对着上帝的那种眼光，所以给他那种冲力，是成为他最大的动力。
Paul does not wish to waste his life.
保罗不要浪费他的生命。
He knows that with his keen mind, his strong and dominant personality, and his power of persuasion, he could easily achieve a record of influence and accomplishment that would impress the world and other Christians.
他知道，依靠保罗的学问、他的辩论能力、他的才学，他可以让很多人很快的就跟随他了。
He knows that.
他知道。
He can easily become very wealthy or gain great prestige and fame.
他知道很快的，他会很成功，成为很出名的人，有很多人跟随他。
He has the natural gifts to take him to the top of whatever mountain that he should decide to climb.
他有这些自然的恩赐，让他有很崇高的地位身份。
But what would it mean at the judgment seat of Christ?
但是这一切的成就，在神的审判台面前，代表什么呢
Nothing.
什么都不是。
Nothing.
什么都不是。
A sure waste of time and effort.
是浪费一切，浪费时间，浪费。
It would only be what Paul described to the Galatians as a good showing in the flesh, nothing but wood, hay, and straw consumed in the flesh by the eternal fire of God.
好像保罗在加拉太书讲的，这一切不过是肉体的成就，草木和谐都让神的火毁灭掉。
Brothers and sisters, may I ask you this question this evening?
今天晚上，弟兄姐妹，我要问你这个问题。
Are you wasting your lives?
你的生命在浪费着吗
Are we wasting our lives?
我们是不是在浪费我们的生命
I believe that fear is deep within each of us.
我相信我们每一个人里面都有这个敬畏的心。
It has been put there by our Creator to be a great force to help us to choose the right and to reject the wrong.
因为这种敬畏是我们创造我们的上帝放在我们的心灵深处，让我们拒绝什么是不对的，接受什么是对的。
There's another motive.
但是另外还有一个推动的力量。
A motive even greater than the motive of fear.
这股力量比敬畏、惧怕还大。
Another force is at work in our lives, which has the power to move us even when the fear of wasting our lives leaves us unmoved.
另外一股力量可以推动我们，让我们从这个没有成就的生命里面，在
And Paul now goes on to declare that greatest of all motives.
现在保罗在宣告这个最大的推动力是什么？
In 2 Corinthians chapter 5, 12 to 15.
在哥林多后书第5
But
章。
I'm giving you an opportunity to take pride in us, so that you can answer those who take pride in what is seen rather than in what is in the heart. If we are out of our mind, as some say, it is for God. If we are in our right mind, it is for you. For Christ's love compels us because we are convinced that one died for all and therefore all died. And he died for all, that those who live should no longer live for themselves, but for him who died for them and was raised again. You see, Paul's behavior as a Christian was a source of bafflement to many people at the church in Corinth.
那个时候，哥林多的教会看见保罗的行为举止，实在是不能了解。
They could not understand his approach.
他们不了解保罗处理事情的方法。
And his motives were forever being questioned.
每一次人都问他保罗的动机是什么。
His actions seemed rather strange to them because they didn't understand him at all.
他保罗的行动对他们来说很怪，因为他们不了解保罗。
They expected Paul to act and to react to situations just as they did, and they were confused and baffled when Paul did not conform like them.
他们实在是被难倒了，因为保罗不像他们，不能改成跟他们一致的行为。
Now it's clear in the Corinthian letters that they expected him to boast of his exploit on behalf of Christ and to find subtle ways to commend himself before them, for that is what they did.
在哥林多的书信很明白的讲到，他们是以为保罗会夸耀他所成就的一切，然后用这些事件来推荐自己。
Paul did not do it the way that they did the usual ways of the world.
但是保罗没有根据他们做事情的方法，当时教会的方法去做。
Rather, he explained that the force that prompted him to act contrary is not arising from a secret ambition for position, for power, and for prestige.
他跟他们说，推动他那股力量，不是要他在世界上得到名誉、地位、身份。
No, it originates from Christ within.
但是这股力量是来自耶稣，在他的内心的深处。
For Christ's love compels us, urges us, and drives us.
因为是耶稣的爱催迫着保罗，推逼着保罗，促使保罗。
And because of what Paul said in this chapter, we know that some people actually claim that Paul was insane.
因为保罗这么说，有的人还以为保罗是疯癫的。
They actually thought that Paul was crazy because of his intense devotion to the ministry of Jesus Christ.
因为他保罗这么把一切的生命都放在侍奉耶稣，他们以为保罗是疯狂的。
And here Paul repeats some of the charges that have been leveled at him, but he declares that there is a method in his madness, as the current saying goes.
他说，保罗就开始解释，在他一切的动机中，他的疯狂的行为是因为有一个原因的。
If we are out of our mind, it is for the sake of God, he says in verse 13.
他是13节说，如果我们是疯狂的，是因为是为了神；
If we are in the right mind, it is for you.
如果我们清醒的，是为了你们。
And even though many people found it hard to explain Paul's action, Paul could state clearly that his own objective was right.
虽然很多人都不跟保罗的目的同意，但是他一直讲到他的目的是对的。
All his behavior, all of the things that he has been doing, whether crazy or sane, was focusing on serving Christ and influencing people to come to know Jesus Christ.
他一切他们所谓疯癫的动作、行为、决志，唯一的目的是要把人带来耶稣的面前。
And how can that be?
为什么会这样呢？
It was because of the love of Christ that urged him on.
因为是基督的爱来激励他、推逼他。
His action was the action of love directed to the glory of God and the service of man, never for the advancement of self.
他这一切的举动都是来自耶稣的爱， 为着要荣耀上帝，而不是他自己个人的成就愿望。
And no wonder some Christians thought that Paul was going crazy.
难怪有的基督徒以为当时的保罗是疯癫的。
And by the way, Christians are considered by many to be crazy if you do not know.
你知道吗？很多人以为我们基督徒实在是有问题的。
And that is with good reason.
都是有好的原因。
If people don't see us as crazy for Jesus Christ, then we are not practicing authentic Christianity. We are not practicing real Christianity.
如果人家看见我们不是疯狂的跟随耶稣的话，那我们不是真的基督徒，也不是真正的活出基督徒的生命来。
A.W. Tozer notes this.
A.W. Tozer 他这么写。
A real Christian is an odd number anyway.
他说一个真正的基督徒就是一个古怪的人。
He feels supreme love for one whom he had never seen.
他拥有最崇高的爱，给一位他所没有看见过的。
He talks familiarly every day to someone he cannot see.
他每一天很亲密的与一位他看不见的交谈。
He expects to go to heaven on the virtue of another.
他希望靠着别人的美德而上天堂。
He emptied himself in order to be full.
他倒空自己，以致他能够被充满。
He goes down in order to get up.
他被打倒，好让他自己可以再站立起来。
He's strongest when he is weakest.
当他是在最软弱的时候，
Richest
神圣。
when he is poorest.
当他最贫穷的时候，他是最富有。
And happiest when he feels worse.
当他感觉到最低潮的时候，却是最快乐的一个时刻。
Brothers and sisters, the person who has no personal motives, no motive for his own profit, is indeed behaving strangely.
一个对自己没有什么目的，求什么为自己的好处，他这样的表现实在是有点疯癫。
Because the world expects to look out for number one.
因为整个世界都追求寻找这个第一个人物、最高的人物。
Because the world expects to look for the biggest and the largest.
因为世界寻找的是最大的、最伟大的。
To hide its self-interest until the last possible moment.
把自己的目标躲在到最后才显露出来。
To appear to be concerned for the welfare of others, even while he's trying to manipulate the situation to his own advantage.
当人家有需要的时候，他假装的要帮助人家，其实他自己有企图。
And so to find someone who consistently in varying circumstances behaving contrary to basic human principle may cause someone to be perplexed and unbelieving.
所以保罗这样无论任何环境都能够继续的坚持的做下去，人家不能相信。
And what is the answer?
他的答案是什么呢？这么反常的动作。
What is the answer?
他的答案是什么？
Love is the explanation, says Paul.
保罗说，因为爱。
It is the love of Christ which presses us and urges us on and takes hold of us and overpower our natural self-interest and makes us act contrary to nature.
因为是耶稣基督的爱催迫着我们，让我们这样反常的、跟与众不同的有这种表现。
It is not a put on but real.
不是假装的，是真诚的。
It is no longer self-centered but outward directed.
不是内向的，而是向外表发现出来。
It reaches to others naturally without self-consciousness.
很自然的流露给大家，外人都感觉得到。
Brothers and sisters, whenever we yield to the love of Christ, says Paul, that is the way we Christians act.
每一次我们基督徒彰显出耶稣基督的爱，就是这样的自然的流露出来。
His love is the reason we act that way.
我们这样的动作表现，是因为主耶稣基督对我们的大爱。
His love is the reason to stir us up.
因为他的大爱，所以催逼着我们，眺望着我们。
And it is His love that we all go crazy for Him.
因为他的大爱，所以我们可以疯狂的跟随他。
That is authentic Christianity.
这是真正的基督徒。
Love begins with God, not with us. First, even says Paul in Romans chapter 5, while we were yet sinners.
保罗在罗马书说，我们是罪人的时候，主耶稣基督已经爱我们了。
When our hearts have been stirred and awakened by God's love, we are ready to reach out to our fellow brothers and sisters.
除非我们是让这种爱眺望着我们，要不然我们不能够把爱彰显去给外面的人。
Disregarding our own self-interest and motives.
根本对自己没有